All right. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, welcome to day one of the AI Research Masterclass. And it's going to be about AI and research tonight. So why we start, okay, is our outline for today. So before we start, I'm sure quite a number of people don't know me here. It's the first time of most people getting to know who I am. So the question is who I am and why should you listen to me, especially in a topic as important as AI and research. So I'm going to be giving you a brief credentials of mine. So I've been researching since 2019. That makes it 6 years this year. And I've been actively using AI since January 2023, long before it became a really mainstream thing. I'm deeply rooted in traditional research methods. I've been doing that long before AI came into being. So we've researched, we felt the rigor of researching traditionally without the help of AI. We've done the hard work. So that makes using it when AI came into being, it makes using AI pretty much easier and seamless for someone like me because we've done the work. We know how it was without AI. We know how it is using AI, and we know the difference. And yes, I also understand AI pretty much. I've been experimenting with AI since January. We've had our failures and we've had our successes too. Probably as we go into this tonight's training, I'm going to be sharing some of my personal stories. I've been training people actively since 2021. So I've been training people actively since 2021 up to 2025. Every year, I do that every year. And this year, I intend to do it more frequently. I used to do it once in a while before because I largely focus on writing than training, but I'm pivoting more into training now because I have so much to share. I have incredible team members of which were trained by me on traditional and AI methods. So even though this is a 2-day class, my vision is it's going to be a continual thing. So I'm just hoping that I could find people that are hungry enough to ride with me on this journey. So just follow me. So I'm welcoming you again to AI Research Masterclass. So in this class, it's going to be, we are not just hyping AI. The season to hype AI really has passed. If we want to hype AI, that will be in 2023 or so. But right now, there's nothing to hype about AI anymore. Almost everybody knows about AI. We are not here to hype AI. No, I'm not here to tell you about the wonders of AI. I'm just here to help you synthesize AI with research. So we are not here to replace human thinking. Definitely, that's part of the concern of people about AI at the early beginning. They think AI will stop you from thinking. AI will make you become lazy. That is not the case. With my use of AI, I've realized that if you are not intelligent, it might be very difficult for you to use AI. So AI is for people that are also smart, that are also intelligent. AI, since I've been using it, AI has pushed me to even deeper thinking. I've always been a deep thinker, and that's what made me to go into research in the first place. I love deep thinking. I love probing into things. I've always been a curious person. So AI, it's a myth that AI will make you lazy or AI will make you become less human or something. So we are here to honor the spirit of research and to unlock its future. So AI really is not our enemy, it's our friend. AI is not here to replace us. It's here to make us smarter. It's here to make us more efficient. It's here to make us more productive. That is AI. I was there's someone I listened to was talking about AI one day. He was saying, finally, the human race, we can finally become who we are meant to be. Because soon we are going to be outsourcing all the menial jobs, all the little jobs to AI, where it will free us to do what we are ordained to do. And that is to think, to ideate, to curate, to be creative, to be curious, to be bold, to be courageous, to create, to lead. So that is the framework to which I approach AI, and that is what I intend to show you. So this is day one. Day one, my focus in day one is to discuss mental framework of using AI. Tomorrow we are going to be discussing about the tools. There are many tools that you can use to research in AI beyond ChatGPT. Most people already know about ChatGPT. So this masterclass is not about ChatGPT per se. It's about integration of many other different tools to bring about a more holistic research. So my vision for this masterclass is to help you normalize AI without losing your mental integrity, to protect the true spirit of research, which is curiosity, diligence, and excellence. So I'm not here to show you some shortcuts that will make you lazier. I'm here to make AI normal, because the earlier AI becomes normal to us, the better for us. Once upon a time, the internet used to be a new thing. Once upon a time, social media used to be a new thing. And in 2025, AI is no longer a new thing. In fact, my goal for this masterclass and beyond is to be able to impact my worldview in a way. It since AI fell upon my labs, my research have gone to another level. It has made my thinking limitless. Because naturally, I love thinking. I love playing with the idea of how tomorrow is going to look like without fantasizing. I'm a very practical person, but also I love to think. I love futuristic thinking. I love to know how to move, how to ensure that my feet is guarded with utmost accuracy. So I'm going to be showing you all that, and then to build an unshakable confidence in a fast world that we are in, and also to keep you with smarter ethical research tools. So this is where it gets juicy. I'm going to be talking about the evolution of researching. Don't forget, today is about building mental frameworks. Tomorrow it's about showing you the actual tools. It's important to match the two together, because we must always back practice with principle. Like the mentor of mine used to say, he used to say something that practice without principle leads to mediocrity. So if you only focus on the practice of a thing without understanding the principle of a thing, you become a mediocre. So where excellence merge is when you merge practice plus principle. So today I'm going to be focusing on principle. Tomorrow we are going to be focusing on practice. So the evolution of research. Research has pretty much it's a very has a very long history. But I broke down the evolution of research into 4, which is number 1, the printing press. Number 2, the library era. Number 3, the Google era. Number 4, the AI era, which we are currently at. I wrote here, to understand where we are, we must first honor where we have been. Somebody said, if you don't understand history, you will lose who you are. You will not understand who you are, because a piece of who you are, you can find it in history. I'm going to allow myself to flow so that I can really give my best to you. So there was a time I was watching a documentary about Einstein. So he did a documentary called okay, it's not the one that they did the documentary on his behalf. The name of the documentary is E equals MC squared. So any science student here is likely to know the law of relativity, which is E equals MC squared. So they were doing the documentary. It's been a long time I watched the documentary, probably 2013. But what stood out to me, what stayed with me in the documentary is that Albert Einstein did not just invent E equals MC squared. Albert Einstein built the discovery of that formula on the works of other researchers that preceded him. Researchers such as Thomas Edison, such as John Maxwell. Is it John Maxwell? Something Maxwell. So he built on the precedence of scientists that preceded him in order to discover E equals MC squared. So also, if we are going to move into the discovery of our own time, we need to know where things are coming from. So that's why I'm going to be discussing the evolution of research. So before the printing press, research has always been, but research was only a privilege of a few of the elites, of the kings, of the priests. You know, research was it's more like what determined social class and social status. Knowledge was only available to the few. So that was pretty much the history of knowledge and research and discovery. Then the time came that the printing press was made. The printing press was discovered at exactly the year 101. Year 1, that's 1440. That's the exact year that the printing press was discovered. So the printing press revolutionized research. The printing press made research possible. It's not make it possible, it made it accessible to the masses. So that was the first revolution of knowledge. Knowledge became a mainstream thing. It moved from being something in the hand of a privileged few into the hands of the mass. The mass had access to knowledge. So it makes you can synthesize knowledge. You know, it was more like a new dawn that time. The same way we are crazy about AI, and it was the same way they were crazy about the printing press. So, of course, they've been library long before the printing press, but the library was like in the palaces, you know, monasteries, you know, you cannot even have access to it except you are a king, you're a son of the noble, you're an elite, you're very rich, cannot even have access to the library at that time before the printing press. So if you will have access to knowledge at all, you have to be very rich, like I said, and books was very expensive and scarce, and it was handwritten. So the libraries that were existing in those times, they were books that was literally handwritten by scribes. So as we will have it, there was a miracle of the printing press and everything changed. So we begin to have the printing press lead us to the era of the normal public libraries. So with the normal public libraries, you can go to the library to search books and then discover things and all that. So with the library, even till now, every major city has a library. Every university has a library. Every department has a library. So it's because there was an era that for you to be able to do a research, you cannot do it without the library, literally. So that was that era. So it's hard. You have to be consulting books before you can even make a literature review. You'll have worked the hell out of your life. That was the era. Then another miracle happened in 1998. That was the miracle of the search engine. Of course, before there was Google, there was Yahoo, but Google search engine, that was what made search engine to be more mainstream. So Google came and revolutionized research. It makes knowledge available at the finger of your tips. Just with the right keywords, you can have access to tons of resources. That was the Google era. Google era made it changed the way we research. Just have access to the internet and boom, you can research. So there was problem with every one of these eras. The era of the printing press made knowledge available, but it also made false knowledge to be available. Follow me. The era of the printing press, it has its blessing and it has a cost too. It's made knowledge overly available, so people have information paralysis to the point that you don't even know what to believe. In the era that predates the printing press, every knowledge you have access to are gold. They can literally transform your life. Knowledge can still transform your life now, but as knowledge became more accessible and more popularized, you need something we call a methodical knowledge, whereby you go through knowledge methodically, step after step, such a way that you don't allow yourself to be paralyzed by knowledge. So that was the problem that the printing press introduced. And then the printing press also introduced the first problem we have with plagiarism. Plagiarism is not a new thing. Plagiarism started with the printing press. It took years. It took like over 30 years before they start having regulation around plagiarism and all that. It took a very long time before they could have a solution around plagiarism. So also, the Google era also escalated plagiarism. So that's why we have something like Turnitin to curb plagiarism and all that. And what is plagiarism? For those that don't know what plagiarism is, it's just is what we call intellectual theft. Stealing somebody else's discovery as your own, using somebody else's work in your work without referencing them, or without even if you use their work, you have to paraphrase it. Paraphrasing it's to the scholar, to the academic word, it means that you have studied it, you have read it to the point that you understand it, to the point that you can put it down in your own word. But also, you still have to reference where you got the idea from before it is not a plagiarism. So, but right now, we are in the AI era. AI era also have its blessing. It also has its challenges. The challenge of the AI era is not just the plagiarism that we know in the Google era. The plagiarism of the Google era is copy and paste. The plagiarism of the AI era is fabrication of information from the thin air. You didn't research it, you didn't find it, you just prompt it, and information is thrown at you. That is, but that's something that's a challenge, does not mean we should throw it away. We just have to be smart enough, wise enough to be able to take the blessing and find a way around the challenges. Hope you are following me. Hope I'm making sense. If I'm making sense to you, let me see a show of hand, or you type in the comment section if I'm making sense to you. So, so let's move on. So, I haven't discussed the AI, the different evolution and different phases that we have to go through. The question now is, what changed and what didn't change? So we're going to be starting from what changed. What changed is the tools we are using now has changed. Even though they are still available, we still have libraries, we still have Google. But now we have AI. You get me? So now the speed of access has changed. The methods of finding and organizing information has changed. But what did not change? The things that did not change, they are as vital as the things that changed. What did not change? From generation to generation, what did not change? It is the need for critical thinking. The need for critical thinking. In my study, I realized that in this era that we are, in my study, I realized in this era that we are, information is no longer gold. What is gold now is insight. And there's a difference between information and insight. So all this evolution I discussed with you, they have their own hedge. What will refine you for an advantage in all of those eras. You know, there was an era that information was gold. You know, we are just moving away from that era. We are no longer in the era of information. We are now in the era of critical thinking. Nobody will celebrate you for having access to information anymore. You'll be celebrated for your ability to be able to think critically. And that is part of the purpose of this AI research masterclass. I'm not just here to teach you how to prompt. Anybody can teach you that. You can find that anywhere. You can find that on YouTube. But it's for us to sit down to be able to know how to think critically. How can you produce what you want from what you have? So the next thing that did not change is the need for ethical standards. The next thing that did not change is the need for deep understanding. I'm going to go back to ethical standard. It is very, very important, because if we don't understand this, AI will make us to break a lot of ethical rules. But we are going to come back there as we progress. So the next thing that has not changed is the need for deep understanding. I can tell you for a fact, my understanding has evolved since I've been using it. I've always been somebody that value understanding, but with the right questions. Oh God. So the need for understanding now is the new good, not the need for information. Nobody will reward you for the information you have anymore. You will be rewarded for the understanding you have. Then the last thing is the curiosity, the curiosity that drives real research. In this time and age, curiosity is gold. Insight is gold. Creativity is gold. Your ability to use the tools you have at your disposal to bring forth something noble. And that is why we exist. And that's what we are going to be doing. So before we move forward, because they are available, because that your online shows that you are serious-minded. So I have a plan to take some people on a journey. I have a plan to take some people on a journey, and it's completely free. This is not, I'm at least at this phase of my work, I'm not interested in charging anybody yet. So I'm going to be doing a series after these 2 days. I call it the Hunger series. And what is going, the series is going to be about teaching you what I know about research, everything I know about research, plus merging that knowledge with AI knowledge. What you do with that knowledge is now up to you. I've done my part. So that is what is going to be happening after these 2 days. So we're going to be showing you how to take action based on that much more later. So let's continue. So I use this analogy. Let me share you a short story. So I told you I've been using AI since 2023. So in 2023, there was a war against AI, not in Nigeria, in the UK and in developed countries. There was literal war against AI. In the academia, there was war against AI, serious war. Like, it was crazy. It has reduced now. They are coming around. They are realizing now that you have access to AI does not mean you are necessarily intelligent. It takes, I've always known from the word go that it takes intelligent person to use AI intelligently. So there was a point in my life too that I was kind of somehow threatened, like, hope this thing, mess all of us up like that. But I now realize that no, it is who you are that determines how you use AI. So if you are not smart, you cannot use AI smartly. So when there was that war against AI that time, personally, I wanted to be discouraged. Like, then I told myself, like, if you are fighting AI, that means you are ignorant. If you are using a mobile phone, you don't have a right to fight AI. Why? A mobile phone is a developed way of communication with your friends and your family. We go back to the evolution of communication. So the most modern way of communicating before the telephone was mailing. That is, for instance, now I have a loved one in I don't reside in Lagos. Let's say I have a loved one in Lagos and I want to send a letter to him or her. I have to write the letter, take the letter to a post office in my city and deliver the letter to the post office. And the letter might take 3 or 4 days or even a week to get to whoever I'm sending the letter to. So the person who will return the letter, it will take about the same duration. So for me to send a letter and receive a feedback, it might take me about 2 weeks in an efficient system. Sometimes it can take a month. So we having access to telephone is a miracle on its own. So I feel like if you are fighting here, then that means you should not be on the internet. You should not use telephone. Like, it is stupid to fight AI. This thing is literally going to be our lives in a couple of years. Why are you fighting it, for God's sake? So I needed to, and I was telling you in the beginning about critical thinking. I would never, ever support anybody that is using AI without your senses. Everybody in my team member, and some of them are still here. Everyone in my team member, they know that it's not acceptable for you to be using AI and you throw your brain you throw it out of the window. It's not acceptable. It's not supposed to replace you. So you are supposed to guide it. You are supposed to drive it. It's not supposed to replace you. You are important. So I use the analogy I use is the horse, the car, and the plane. So also in the revolution of transportation, there was a time that horses was a main thing. Then we have cars, then we have planes. In the era of horses, rich people use horses. Most common people, they trek. It's not everybody that could afford horses in those era. Just like it's not everybody that could afford car now, but it's much more worse in those era than now. Many people are using car than the number of people that were using horses in those times. So when the car revolution came, the horse industry fought the car industry. They didn't want it to come to life. So because I'm a natural researcher, I went to search that one out so that we know how to respond to this war against AI. Then I stood my ground, and then we are where we are today. And to be honest, the earlier version of AI was much more flawed. The earlier version of AI was flawed compared to the version we have now. The version we have now is much more efficient and more competent than the earlier versions we have. So for you to be able to use AI when it first came, you must be a very, very, very diligent person, because it can churn out very, very fabricated lie. You can be using it to research, to just bring out some statistics for you that does not exist anywhere in the world. So it takes somebody that can fact find. And then the way we use AI at that time and the way we use it now, that's changed too, because in the early beginning, ChatGPT was the first that came. Then other ones that was coming, we don't know them yet. So it was as time went on that we're able to know them, verify them, and to be able to use them. So there are more intelligent and more efficient way to use AI now than we were using it back in 2023. So I said here that Africa, especially, we like to glorify struggle over efficiency, and because you are here, it should not be that. Efficiency doesn't mean laziness. You don't have to struggle in order to get your desired results. That's why we have evolution. That's why we have the internet. That's why we have AI. You don't have to suffer yourself. Before the era of AI, I could remember if you want to do a work that time, it could take you what we used to do for 2 weeks. Can do it in 2 hours with AI. I was like, wow. But it's somebody that knows about it that can do that. Because even see today, I can tell you somebody is using AI unintelligent. If some of us use AI for you, you will not even know that we use AI. And I want to debunk the fact, I want to debunk the myth that you are using AI means you are cheating. That is a lie. Depends on how you use it. So the ethical use of AI, why ethical use of AI matters. I said yes, speed without integrity is disaster. So AI is a tool, it's not your mind. AI is a tool, it's not your mind. AI is not here to replace you. AI is not here to replace you. AI can never replace you. It is only the lower version of yourself that AI can replace. If you keep refining yourself, AI cannot replace you. I know for a matter of fact, AI cannot replace me because I can think. I have the mind of my own. I am a captain over it. It's not really me. I'm the one that lead where it goes. It's not the one that lead where I go. So I have my mind. So AI is a tool, just like every other thing just like the way your phone is a tool, just like the way your laptop is a tool, just like the way any other thing you own or have is a tool. It's not supposed to replace you. You're supposed to use it. It's not supposed to use you. So always verify, never blindly trust. Yeah. You cannot trust everything AI is telling you. That is why that we now have AI cannot replace the place of personal development. That is where some people are getting it wrong. That you have access to AI does not mean you should neglect yourself. It doesn't work like that. You still have to develop yourself. You still have to refine your mind. You still have to read normal books. That you can churn up anything on AI does not mean you should not read normal books. You still have to interact with normal experiences of people. AI hallucinates a lot, especially in the beginning days. Sometimes you be like, what is this one saying like this? So you need to have the mind of, you need to be able to develop the mind of your own to know when it's giving you bullshit and when it's giving you real facts. So if you are lazy, if you have not developed yourself, you just take everything it gives you and you're going to mass produce error. So it is important that we preserve originality and authenticity. That's one thing we should know. In this era of AI, people that are authentic and original, they are the new kings. When you are talking, it is you I want to interact with, not the AI. Of course, you can use AI to bring out some things, but you should still be able to have mind to refine it, to hone it. Yeah, that's why you are here. You don't need to be here if you want AI to replace your mind. So, fast work plus true work equals to excellence. One thing about AI is fast. You are not as fast. And a lot of times, in order for you to verify fact and truth, it takes sometimes slow process of verification. It is when you have developed yourself to a point that you can, just with a glance, you can know whether something is true or false. So I said here, let AI accelerate you, not corrupt you. So that is what today is going to be about. It's about mental reframing. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about tools, different tools. ChatGPT is one of them. It's not the only one. Now, the way we do literature review has changed. The way we do literature, there are tools that have simplified literature review. So, like I said at the middle of this webinar, there's going to be an hunger series. And the only qualification for you to be on the hunger series is for you to be hungry. I'm not going to be holding anything back. I intend to give you my best shot because I see it as my own seed to you and to the society. So if you are interested, you can tag along. It's going to be rigorous. I'm going to hold you accountable. If you are not willing to be held accountable, you are not welcome. So I know when I started this, I know where it's going. I don't have any doubt of where it's going, irrespective of whatever. So if you are interested, we'll give you more details about it tomorrow. So I'm going to be welcoming some feedback. So I'm going to be welcoming some feedback right now. If you have any question, you can, let me see a show of hand. If you have any question, let me see a show of hand. If you have any question, let me see a show of hand. Okay. Is there any question in the comment section? All right. Yeah, said very insightful. Well, all right. Thank you. So, are we saying we don't have any question? Okay, nobody's asking. Yes, if you are registered, I will share the recording with those that are registered. I will share the recording from those that are registered. So if you have anybody that should be in this class tomorrow, kindly share. Kindly share. Tomorrow we are going to go deeper. My goal tonight is to show you that AI is not our enemy, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to be our future. In fact, let me share this with you. Let me leave this with you. I was doing a research 3 weeks ago. I do a lot of personal research. So I was doing a research 3 weeks ago, and I was researching the reality of life in 1995 and the reality of life in 2025. That's 30 years apart. And I realized that if you go back in 1995 and you just uproot somebody in 1995 without them going through the preceding the years that follow, you just uprooted them from 2020 from 1995 and just bring them to 2025, everything will become unrecognizable to them. I was thinking to myself, everything we have access to today that was not available in 1995. In 1995, the internet was still in it was still in its infancy stage. Personally, I began to know about cyber cafes in 1998 or something. Cyber cafes was an in thing in the 2000s. The same way life is unrecognizable. The life of 1995 is unrecognizable to people of 2025. Is the same way life will be unrecognizable in the time to come. So AI is going to take over everything, every single thing. So part of my goal is I want to raise people that can think beyond the four walls of the classroom. You can lead in thoughts. In fact, every single device I'm using now was not available in 1995. I look into my own space. I was deleting the things that was not available in 1995. And the things I have left was very few. It is the same way in 2050. Life will be unrecognizable to the person of 2025. So instead of us leaving ourselves behind, we should lead forward. We should anticipate forward. Do you know how difficult life was in 1995 in terms of technology? I used to tell people, it is only an ignorant person that complain. If you know the blessing we have in this generation, you will stop complaining. We have the blessing of technology that our forefathers wish they had. So this is what I'm about. I'm not here to teach you boring research method. It's meant to be exciting. Research is meant to be exciting. You're supposed to use it to your personal life. You're supposed to use it to your personal affairs. This is my own approach to research. And in the normal traditional research, I don't go behind. So I'm a researcher 24/7. I don't have anything I'm doing except research. And the people that consult me for research, they don't fail. And if I'm hungry, I will not be organizing something like this for free. I'm not doing it, at least at this phase. It's not in my heart to do it. I'm not doing it for profit. But I'm not also doing it for people that won't appreciate it. That is why the hunger series is very, very important. I'm going to go from traditional to AI. You will be grounded in traditional, you'll be grounded in AI. What do I have to gain? I don't know. God is the reward. So we'll see tomorrow. If there's anybody that should be here, be their evangelist. So thank you for forming my live audience. I really appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. So my name is Tosin. Hope I didn't disappoint you tonight. And I wish so. I hope so. So we see same time tomorrow by 7 p.m. Please, let's be on time tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow will be hotter.